Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dr. Nikki Starr, and welcome to another interview for the Ultimate Women Program. And today I have the beautiful Ashley with me.
Hello.
So thank you so much for being here, Ashley. You just completed the program and you've had some incredible results. And I want to celebrate you for everything that you have achieved and accomplished in this program. And I want to start off with, well, just how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic. I actually feel like I'm glowing today. So,
Yay, you are so great. I love that your embodiment has really blossomed so much. This is one of the things that you really received from the program. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about that.
yeah. So, when I first started the program, I was wearing just dark colors, like a t shirt and jeans and a hoodie. Um, and Dr. Nikki just said, like, hey, go into your embodiment, just wear a dress. And I was like, no, but I have to feel good to wear a dress. And she was like, no, wear the dress and then you'll feel good and you'll feel feminine throughout the day. And of course, in my head, I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then I would do it just to try. So as I was wearing dresses, um, that part of me got reignited. And every chance I get, I now wear a dress, and then even brighter colors like today, a white.
Beautiful. Yeah. And what like actually tell us a little bit about like where were you when before you started the program and like what was going on for you at that time in your life?
So when I first started, before I even found the program, I was feeling like, okay, I want to be a CEO, but I'm not taking the right action steps. I actually felt like I was just taking um, the wrong side steps, and it was never steps where it was like, oh, I'm living as a CEO. And I would notice that, and I was like, okay, so I'm not living in alignment. Um, and then I was just like, I'm ready. What do I need to do? And then that's when I received and noticed the email with the guided meditation. And the second I did it, I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. I don't know what I'm getting into, but yes. um, and then let's see, where else was I didn't want to hang out with friends at the time. I was kind of downing myself in caffeine, just like letting myself be in low vibration. And then even eating habits, I used to eat and like run. I used to eat really well and like run and have all these hobbies like soccer, horseback riding, tennis. But I wasn't doing any of that. I was just laying in bed, kind of just drowning myself. And I knew that's not who I wanted to be. And then the second I said yes, as much as I was fighting with myself, the good wolf started to win instead of the battle.
Yeah, and you've had some incredible results. And I already told you this, but you win the prize for the woman to have to get a new boyfriend in the fastest time. So tell us a little bit about like what was going on with your love life at that time and then how everything came together in your relationship and all the goodness you've been having from that.
Yeah, so I wasn't dating at all. I was just in kind of a self-pity, sad, like just I just didn't want to deal with guys. I didn't know how to call in something that was for my higher self. And I kept calling in the same stuff. And then the second we got into the program, as I was releasing my stuff, I realized it was kind of me all along being like, I was projecting what I needed to heal from men. And as I started to heal within myself, an ex-boyfriend came back in and I was like, okay, is this like, what is this? But now that I see him in this light, I'm like, wow, you're actually great. It was me that was kind of putting this negative view on you, but actually I see your like beauty now. Yeah.
Wow, yay. I was in the background going like this to Ashley because she's so wise. She's taking full responsibility and completely transforming her life. And it's just so beautiful to be here through it all and witness it. So I'm just like, yay. Um, and even with it, so this new boyfriend came back in, and then what happened? Like, what were the events that happened?
So quickly, um, I used to always be like, oh, the guy has to make the first move, and I knew that I wanted to be with him, so I made the first move, and I went to him because he's in a different state right now, and I went to him and I went to go see him, and he was like, oh, you came to see me? Like, you want this? And I was like, yes. And then right after that, he came to see me, and then we booked up until January for New Year's, traveled to see each other back and forth and go to concerts in Colorado. And yeah, we're just flying.
Amazing. And where are you going to spend New Year's?
We are planning on Japan if it opens up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So I love that. It was like, yeah, I remember being like, what? You already have a boyfriend? Like, so thank you for being such a beautiful example of that. How when you just do your own work, that the people who are meant to be in your life show up. And so thank you for that. And let's talk a little bit too about like even how you've shifted some of your food habits and taking care of your self-care, because you mentioned that you kind of weren't really doing much. You were in that depressed cycle at that time. And so how has the past 3 months really helped you to come back online?
Yeah, so I was just, as I said, kind of more just drinking a lot of coffee. I wasn't really hydrating with water, and I wasn't really just like, I was just eating here and there. And then we went through my whole fridge and my cabinets, and she was like, not this, not this, not this, no cane sugar. And at first I was like, okay, that's a lot. And then that same day and the 2 weeks after, I was like, you know what, if I'm not going to do it now with support, I'm never going to do it. So let me just do it with support. And I just grabbed everything, and I kept a couple of things that were, I guess, what I call my like comfort, but I now have gotten rid of those. So I was like, if I'm not going to do it, then why am I in the program? Like, I signed up for this. So I did it, and I was like, of course, I was like, how is this gonna change? Like, I don't feel good yet. And it's like, Ashley, again, like, do it, and then like the feelings will come. And so now I hydrate, I make sure that I have the nutrients, and I still do drink coffee. I just have balanced it in my life instead of making it kind of the staple. And then having more balanced energy with better food has just made me even kinder towards everyone, even to myself.
Mm, beautiful, beautiful. And how about like your exercise routine? You started kind of moving more. And so tell us a little bit about what's been going on with that.
So I started walking. It was Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And it's around Lake Calabasas, so it's a really cute lake, and my dog is so happy that I'm walking these walks with him now. And then I also started, I guess it's called tribal dancing, and it's kind of like more, it's not, I'm not the best dancer, so it's more just like innate, and it's bringing out the feminine flow. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So a fun fact about Ashley is, so we also do one-to-one work as well as the program. And so I was there. That's why I was at her house telling her yes, no, yes, no. And we also did some feminine dancing together. And she was just in, so at first she was like a little timid, but then she just got so in her pleasure. And I was like, look at you. And then the next time I show up at her house, she's literally like, looks like she's high, because she had been really activating her feminine more. Do you want to talk a little bit more about like activating your pleasure and what's been going on in that realm?
Yeah. So the exercise was to kind of let music flow and just get into the pleasure and then feel it. And then this is more intimate, but then it was also to pleasure myself. And then after pleasuring myself, sit in the pleasure, and enjoy just kind of everything that was coming through. And with that, because my cup is so filled, that when me and my boyfriend are now intimate, like I'm able to express yeses and this is what I like. And to see him react to me being like, yes, even though I was so intimidated at first, now it's just like, I'm going to tell you yes, everything, please, more.
Yes, I love hearing this. And that's actually a big result that a lot of the women experience with the program is somehow our sex life just like gets so much better. And I just love that that has happened for you too. So yeah, I mean, you've been such a delight in the program, and it's been such a delight to see you go through everything. I'm curious to know, like, what were some of your favorite aspects about the program?
So for sure the gratitudes, those ones hit me hard because I used to again feel like, well, I don't feel gratitude. So how can I be gratitude or how can I have gratitude? And you were again, just do it. Just start doing it. And I would notice myself if I hadn't done my gratitudes that day, I would get a little like inner ting of, hey, what are you grateful for today? Or I would walk and I'd be like, oh, the bird, I'm so grateful for you. And I was like, oh, it just like caught, like it started to just come, like, and then again, I was like flowing in gratitude, and I was just like, well, this is great. And then my other favorite aspects were definitely the women supporting each other, whether it was through the gratitudes, noticing like, hey, like I see you evolving, or in the discussions being like, wow, like this is where you were and now this is where you are, and everyone just coming together as a sisterhood and just being like, we got you. Even when I was coming out of it, I had 3 days where I was kind of mourning not being in the group anymore, where I was like, oh my god, like am I sure I don't want to be in? Should I text her and say yes? I'm also doing one-on-one, so maybe after one-on-one I can come back in.
Yeah, you
um,
can.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I
and
was
then of
like, I'm
course you're
gonna.
welcome anytime to come back if you miss that, because it's nice to have that sacred space where other women are going on that journey too. So yes, like sometimes it happens that you leave and you want to come back. Of course, you can come back anytime you want. Yeah, that's so beautiful. And yeah, and I even find that as other women evolve and we're in the same container, it's like contagious. Like, look at her up leveling. Everyone's getting like, you already had your house, but all the women are getting their houses and moving into new places. And so it's beautiful to see how like, I think even with your embodiment and stuff, you were also inspiring some of the other women to make some more changes. So it was awesome to see how like everyone has their magic they're bringing and inspiring in each other. So yeah, and the last question I'm going to ask you is, let's say if there's a woman here who's like kind of sitting on the fence, she's like not sure if actually I realize we didn't go back to one thing. What were some of the changes that happened at work? Because I know like you mentioned your CEO self, and that was one of the reasons that brought you to the program.
Mhm. So I'm gonna first talk about when I would see the other women being like, I manifested this and I manifested that in the workplace. I was like, lucky? Like how? And I was like, okay, I'm doing it too. So I just got to do the work and I'm just gonna watch. And for some reason, the CEO aspect is the most foreign to me. So I just trusted the process and was like, okay, like I'm just going to do the work and see what manifests for me. And as I was doing it, other people in my workplace, my colleagues would mention, oh my gosh, your work is done so early. Thank you. Or like, wow, I can see the shift in you. And even the other day, like it had nothing to do with work, but one of my male colleagues was like, wow, your eyes look different. And I was like, well, I do have makeup on, my hair is done, and I'm in a dress. And he was like, you look great. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And then I went back into work and I was more inspired to finish my work because I was getting all these compliments and I was just like, thank you, universe. Like, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I even actually the other day, I got a text from an old colleague who has moved past our work. But he texted me and was like, hey, I heard you're going to take over the company one day. And I was like, who told you? And I was like, because if that's universe talking to me, that is us. And like, Dr. Nikki's always like, what else sign do you need? And I was like, just that, I guess.
Yeah. And I want to say, like, really honor yourself for doing the work. I know you're like, thank you, universe, but really it's like, thank you, Ashley. Like, thank
Yeah,
you for showing up and loving me and like doing all the great work and following the good wolf instead of the bad wolf and like doing all, you're doing it. Like, it's you. You've achieved all this. So I just want to like really honor you for that.
thank you.
Yeah, so great. So the last question is if there's any women who are maybe sitting on the fence and they're not sure or maybe they are thinking or what would you say to women who may want to join the program?
Firstly, yes. Follow the first yes intuition hit of yes. You're here. You have shown up. Just say yes. And secondly, if you're still teetering because you're still working with your intuition, I would say that how do I say everything that you're putting into this program puts back into you tenfold. And Dr. Nikki is here for you, supporting you, and you will get tenfold of what you're thinking you're gonna get.
Oh, thank you so much, Ashley. And I actually love that word of wisdom that you spoke of, like what you put into the program, you'll get out of it. Because it's true. It's not that like there is a lot of magic, right? We know that like the manifestations that happen, it's like, how did that happen? So there is magic on your side for sure, and the universe and all the support and the energies. And of course, though, it's like showing up. And you're a great example, Ashley, of like showing up to the work and then receiving for everything you've done and yes, like I'm here to support you in all of these things. So I thank you so much, Ashley, for taking the time today for doing this interview so that you could be a muse for other women. So thank you, thank you, thank you for doing this great work.
Thank you.
And with that, any ladies who are interested in learning more about the Ultimate Woman, if you're ready to sign up, if you're feeling that yes, you can book a consult with me or someone from my team at ultimatewomanuprising.com/consult. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.